Greetings. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. And I wanted to go live this morning and talk to you about quite a few things. Very, very interesting what's going on. My whole photo album for Facebook with almost 3,000 photos, she's taken down. If anybody can find my photos and send me a working link, any of the links that I found with thousands of occurrences are non-functioning, not available at this time. That's part of where my millions of photos and links to my liked video playlist are. Okay, so I'm not all upset about it. I'm doubling down, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right now I'm charging up the Truthmobile. With this little device here, I can either jump start the vehicle or charge up my phone. Got a flashlight. I'm doing a deep cycle charge, taking a little nuclear power and coal and charging up the Truthmobile here. It's a naturally aspirated, fuel-injected V8 for those of you who know vehicles. How about that? Shared millions of times through my liked videos playlist, and I'll put a wow in front of there. It's on my post. You can check it out. The reason why I put that wow there is that could be, wow, that's really cool, or wow, I can't believe that you're doing that. So it's really interesting. I'm going to create a video that this might be a part of. I'm not exactly sure yet. That will be an introduction to my channel. I want to establish location here. In the summer, the sun would be coming up right over there in the northeast. Today, it's coming up right over there, and I'll show you in a little bit. It'll be setting way over there today, this afternoon, at around 5 o'clock. So in the summer, when it comes up there and it sets right over there, wow. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, gyrating? Okay, so here we've got the school bus coming in. A lot of impressionable minds. They'll probably be taking a look at my channel. I hope so. Although this is a disclaimer, my channel is not for children. It's for anybody who wants to seek the truth. It's not for kids. I need to say that because that's one of the censorship tools that's being unleashed on YouTube, is that they're wanting to really get people freaked out about sharing anything that could be viewed as designed for children and hit them with a $42,000 fine. Come on. No, the Truthmobile, when it was new, probably went for about 42 grand. Now it's obviously vintage. It's a 94 LS400. And what I wanted to talk about is the variety of content on my channel is very diverse. There's something for everybody to get upset about or to like. I'm going to take us on in and show you what I got going on there. Actually, I'm going to go in the quiet way. Let's show you once again a gentle little breeze. Oh, what I was going to say too is that with all this going on, the censorship and that, it's an opportunity to work through some of the challenges with relational interaction. I wanted to show you from this location out here what this looks like. So right now the sun is intermingled with some clouds obscuring the view. We can see the ripples being caused by the little group of ducks over there. Let me zoom in on them. Uh-oh. That's just part of the construct. That's part of the reality. And those ripples that they're making will just end up going away, obviously. This is all part of just the reality of the world that we live in. The fact that that's a liquid mirror there and that it's not flying out indicates we don't live on a spinning water ball hurling through space in a multiple of directions. It's not exactly flat. It's stationary and level. We've got mountains over 5.5 miles tall. Mount Everest, maybe taller. I don't know. There's a big do not enter sign on the tallest place in the earth, evidently the edge. And then there's a firmament. Right here is the reflector that will reflect light. You maybe can't see it. There's a fire going on in there. I'll show you. This was all stacked up for hurricanes. You don't want stuff like that flying. It could get ugly. This is the best grill I've ever had. It works great. That propane tank would never make the rating for they'll never fill that. I've still got a little left and they'll trash it when it comes back. This is my modified grill cleaner. It may look like, wow, that's kind of weird, but it works great. I've got one of these. That works good with regular charcoal or wood. But the stainless grill in this works super. It's stainless steel, and so it's not going to rust, and the burner's not going to fail. Grills like this last about 2 years and they're junk. My dad had the family size, which was twice as big as that. We turned it into a fire pit, but that lasted for 40 years. Difference in manufacturing. Once again, we can see the wind chime hanging. We don't have any upside down world in relationship to this one. Wherever the water is, it'll seek level. Look at the mirror that is. See that? It's just the way it is. It's nice and warm in here. Isn't that beautiful? So that's on my channel right now. I've shared it millions of times through my liked videos playlist. Here we go. The Bible, probably the most owned and least understood and obeyed. I've got a digital version of that. You can Bluetooth it on your smart devices. You can reach out and call me if you want. I've got the number 1 on there for the area code, and not the area code, the country code. That's the United States. I encourage people to take a closer look at this. Check it out. See what's there if you care to. So as I'm doing what I'm doing, I can go ahead and update my status. Oh, I decided to go with the cue ball. Not into any numerology or anything. We couldn't even have a game of pool on a spinning, wobbling water sphere hurling through space. Let's see what Smeagol thinks about that. I think he's going to be upset when I uncover him. Maybe. Oh, look at him. Hi, Smeagol. Hi, baby. Yeah, he's our little Sphinx kitty. Absolutely adorable. He's on some of the videos. I'll just let him rest there. He looks like Mr. Bagelsworth. Okay, so I believe his name is Jorg, out of Germany. Sprague, I believe his name is. He made a weapon out of a spring-loaded. It was so cool. You can see it. He has a slingshot channel. But what I was thinking is he's pretty creative and innovative. If I were to fill this with propane, wow. Sounds a little dangerous, Robert. Yeah, for maybe a nighttime one-shot deal, fill it up with propane and light it from a distance with a torch. I may do that. It would blow, I'm sure. Now, I had a friend that told me, Trent at Rawhide Boys Ranch, he said he knew a guy who took a garbage bag, a black garbage bag, and filled it with oxygen acetylene, got it almost filled up, and a spark ignited it and killed him deader than a hammer. So people can do stuff that's pretty dangerous. I have with heavy equipment and that as well. One of the other things that I wanted to say is I actually built a cannon when I was about 14. It weighed about 35 pounds. My dad got steel from manufacturing companies that he called on, like Oshkosh Truck and Manitowoc Engineering and Sturgeon Bay Shipbuilding and just Aaron's Manufacturing, all kinds of manufacturing companies. And I made a cannon that I didn't put anything in the barrel because I didn't want to blow myself up, but I was about 14 or so, and it could be heard many miles away. We lived on the highest point in the county. I had a friend on the phone when I didn't have him on the phone at the time. It was in the mid 70s, and it was interesting. He said, "What in the heck did you just light off?" And it was I put in about 8 ounces of black powder. Wow, could have blown myself up. I've been kind of experimenting with things for a while. So anyway, I'm going to flip this around and give you, imagine a nice, relaxing fire view. A lot of plants. Wow, that water looks a little yucky. I do that every day. It's purified water. It's a little cloudy because it's a lot of skin. That's pretty new skin. I'm going to flip this around. It'll put the orientation in the proper view. It should, the truth. I think it works like that. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. The man in the mirror now looks a lot different than the one I used to be. That's why I do this. So I'm actually involved in wanting to release something to you to consider. Even though you may not want to stand in front of the camera like I do or create videos like other people do, if you make your liked video playlist publicly available and then click like on a video, it goes all over there. So that's why I have the space in the hashtag between my names so that people know who I actually am and they can take that space out of there and search if they want to. Or they can call me on the phone. I don't put my name and phone number on all of them. The comments on YouTube videos, sometimes I'll simply say shared millions of times through my liked videos playlists. Who wouldn't want that? Well, maybe some people wouldn't want me sharing their videos. You know, I share videos that I like videos that I don't agree with and many that I do agree with. Just to let you know. That's why I'll put the wow there. If I do it for almost all of them, then they don't know whether I think I agree or disagree with them. It's a wow. By the way, my brother William Forsch, he spelled his name F-O-R-S-C-H-E, actually did the makeup for the original Terminator. Yeah, he plaster casted yours truly, Robin Williams, Angelina Jolie, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's all kind of funny. I used to live out there in California. Yeah, I'm one of those kind of guys that would go out there. Hey, I want to show you some things here. So this right here is the actual technology of the reverse osmosis system. Since it's got a small tank, I've got 10 of these. It's highly purified water. It's the same water that they use for dialysis, filtering the blood when somebody has kidneys that are shutting down, renal failure. Clean water. Hey, where are those bubbles coming from? They weren't in there when I first put it in there. The sun puts ultraviolet light on there. That's part of the situation. When I have my body gloves and exfoliating gloves, this is the water that's purified, and I'll put in a tablespoon of boron and baking soda. Oh, look at that. It's actually in there too. A tablespoon for roughly a quart and a half, a tablespoon of each. Now it disinfects the mouth, and it's got some electrolytes in it. I don't drink a lot of it. On my videos that show borax and boron, I'll link borax is boron. Actually, you can research it if you want to. What it does is it has health benefits. Some people don't agree with that. People don't agree with a lot. Okay, so right here we've got the water level, right? This jug is on the Potter's Clay video that I shared, or a jug like it. It was tipped on the beach. That video I can't find on my liked video, or my, I can't find those photos. They took my photo album down. Let's see if I can show you it's not quite as clear as it was at first. This right here is a great way to water plants. I'll put a little Miracle-Gro in there. It's a pump sprayer with the purified water. I'll have the I'll take the chair out right now. So it won't get as many views back here, but the sun probably won't see for a while. Too many clouds. So from this vantage point, the sun would have appeared here and will set there. Okay. I'm going to take us around front again. The temperature differential will drive this water evaporation. There's a drip that just came out of there. But that's a heat pump. It does climate control for the house. It'll pull the moisture out. Once again, plants adding a lot of oxygen to the environment inside. The air is really fresh and cool right now. It feels like the 50s. And there's a tapestry of light and shade and all of that. Diffused lighting. It's part of what it does. I'll be suiting up and taking the Truth Cycle out there. It's a classic 83 Honda. It's got the shaft drive. Very cool. Liquid cooled bike. I upgraded it with some lighting to give me a little bit of a safety benefit. So those are real easy to see, as well as those are very easy to see also. And what's really nice with the helmet like this is a lot of fresh airflow and protection. I definitely don't want any more head injuries. I've already had my limit about that. So on the charging up the car, it was let's see, right now we're at 80%. It takes a while to bring the charge up. I charge a lot of equipment with the car when I'm mobile, and so I'll need to do that. Unfortunately, when I brought that big screen TV, I put a little crack in the glass, which is a bummer. I cinched the television down so tight that it pulled this in a little bit and cracked the glass. It's not all the way through, but that's Gorilla Tape. It works pretty good. I used to have 2x6s that I found out by the beach here, and floor mats or doormats. This looks a lot better. I've tried to tidy up my the way that I have the house presented, the property, because of our homeowners association want a very nice looking situation, and I do too. Now, that's like about $300 worth there, but it weighs a couple 100 pounds and it's bolted together. Yeah, it's just the way that it is. Not easy to steal. Same thing with a TV. That TV weighs about 100 pounds. I put it up on the wall myself. I mentioned this earlier. When I had the bracket attached and measured it all out, I found out that the bracket was on the TV a half an inch too low. So there's no way I could have put it up there. I had to measure it first. And so I moved the bracket and then I was able to put it up there. Right now I'm going to show you where the light of the sun is coming through. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. So from this vantage point, in the summer, the sun coming up there and setting over there. I'm an investigative journalist with a lot of content that I've compiled and shared. I pour through information and evaluate what I believe is important to consider. I've shared that on my channel. I met Pauline this morning from the UK, actually from England. She was walking out here. And she knew that it was that y'all are 5 hours ahead in the UK. I do have a worldwide audience exposing the global deception. How about that? The ducks are still hanging out, making their little waves. Sometimes we'll have swans out here too. They're really big. They're many times bigger than a duck. It's pretty tranquil here. I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful area to live. Let's see if I can put those ducks on the view. There they are. I had Walter, the rescue turtle, here. When we were, I'm going to flip it around. It's not zooming back out. Hurricane Florence brought water up into our neighborhood. The water here was coming up to the trees there, which is, like less than a couple of feet from coming into the house. The night before I rescued Walter from a drain, he was a big turtle, there was a knock on the door. Emergency services knocked on our door and said that by 5 o'clock in the morning, there would be 4 feet of water in our house. It didn't happen. Sometimes it's nice when people get it wrong, but I got to tell you, it was pretty tense because the water in our neighborhood was coming up. So underneath my little collection there is a quarter of a ton of sandbags. I've got some out front too. The garage is definitely not a place where I would want we wouldn't want water anywhere in the house, so sandbagging makes a big difference. It's actually against the law, imagine this, to go to the beach and bring any sand home. Technically, I guess if you take a handful of sand and put it in a bag, it's against the law, but they're not going to arrest you for it. But if I were to take a truck out there or a car and put it in big bags, that they would arrest me for that if they saw it, or they would tell me to dump it out. And then it could get ugly if somebody is all fired up on fire water and ticked off that the beach patrol is telling them they can't have sand. A simple little, oh, I didn't know that, can turn into a trip to the jail and maybe to the funny farm if you're not careful. So that's part of the dynamic, is that I'm going to flip this around and talk about targeted individuals. I am one. Me and we all are, basically. There's a cell tower there. When the ringing in my ears started about 20 years ago, was when they put a cell tower right next to, just down the road about this distance away from our house. We've got another one over there. There's reportedly in the neighborhood of over 5 million cell towers in the world. And they're putting out frequencies that interact with the brain to actually shape the thoughts. And now I've got documents on my channel and patented technology that talks about it. And it's X-gang stalking is the name of that. The reason why that matters is that the thoughts that we have may be coming from somewhere else. You know, sometimes they may originate with us, or God may put it on our heart to do something. What I'm wanting to do is mobilize people to go ahead and create liked videos, playlists that they can share all over the world. What you believe the truth is. How about that? You could even name your channel Truth if you want. I mentioned that when I first got my stickers. You could call your channel Truth, and then you could, if you want, put what you believe the truth is on your channel. Now, what I've done is I've put it all on my channel. Food for thought, nutritional considerations, informational considerations like, is what you believe true? How will you know? How can you recognize what's true? So that's one of the challenges. What I'm going to do here, I want to show you this again. I was going to squirt some water up on the car, but that's just what it'll do. The water will seek its level. I can do it on this car. All of our interaction with water will just do this. That's what it does. It goes up and it comes down and all of that. And that may seem really, really basic, but what it indicates is the official system of information with the globe and the logos on the church stages, like Joel Osteen with his spinning globe emerging from the stage. That's a fantasy. How about that? How about that? It is. People don't know it. A lot of people don't know it. So what's the truth about any of that? So when I'm out on the beach and I've got my chair there, I might just, they may be walking on by and see that and try and find it. Good luck. It's a challenge. They're presenting the truth to some and hiding it from others. Oh, there's Dean. Hi, Dean. You're live worldwide. Yeah, how about that? Good boy. Hey. Oh my gosh. So this is an oak slate table, and the reason why I wanted to tell you about that, later on I'll set it up and place some pool there. I can set this up on it. And it'll just stop. Now, because I'll show it right here, that's the dresser is slanted, and this is what we'll notice. Let's show this is gravity. So, yeah, Dean's not sure what to do with that. Now, one of the things that's interesting about all this is that reality basically exposes the global lie, the global deception. So even on my channel, I'll include things that I don't agree with because I'm exposing it. I want to show you something. This is not moving. This is the Christmas season. This is the one that was at the Colorado Flat Earth Conference. Notice the clangor in there, not ringing. Right, Dean? It's the Christmas season, so there will be bell ringers for the Salvation Army. Kind of sounds like it, right? Let that be a reminder. Now, one is moving, we can see it. The other one is not. What happens when I tip it upside down? That's what it does. That's the reality of it. Have you ever seen a seashell floating? This is thin enough that you can actually see the translucence of it. Somebody wanted to know if the moon was flat too. And I went to send them my photo album with thousands of photos of the moon. It's gone. I've got it on hard drives. As wonderful as that is, they're not connected to all those pre-placed destinations. When I would like a video, it would go bam, 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 bam to all those locations, and it's been turned off. How about that? So I'm going to show you something. This would be like not pretty stuff. I scrub this every day. And those are the gloves that soak in the boron and the borax. Let's see if I can. Okay, the light isn't visible now, but I'll make it visible by turning it on. Notice there's not even a ripple. And then there's the two lights. There's my shadow and the seashell. Let's just go ahead and put that down there. This will be buoyancy displayed. That's just the reality of it. Now, buoyancy works through the air as well. The air is the atmosphere, so we'll watch this. The differences in density and mass. That's just the reality of it. That's just how it actually works. So, like for example, now to fast forward into some of the hygiene issues, I'm not using commercial products like aluminum deodorant and that. Don't need to. This water here has a little bit of the boron and borax in it, and that works good under the arms. That works good in the mouth for the toothbrushing and all of that. So the cue ball, do you think it'll sink? Of course. Fluid dynamics. Oh, look, it's going right to the drain. Interesting. So when I shave with the ProGlide, keep in mind there's no celebrity endorsements. I just do this. I am a celebrity of sorts. How about that? So when I shave, it gives me a good shave, but I don't want the whiskers in the water there. So I'll put them in here. It's that highly purified water. Here's the remote. This is the relaxing fire playing right there. So if I wanted to stop that, I'm not sure which, it might not be connected right now, but it's a remote. The Google Chromecast is a handy little device. Oh, look at Dean drinking there. He likes that. So I had Smeagol doing this maybe a year ago, and he was drinking out of a container like this, and the sun was hitting this because it was over there. That's where this dresser used to be. And then the mirrored reflection on the ceiling looking like stars. Like I look through and see with my P1000, or at the time it was the P900. So some people will recognize that the paganized holidays of the birth of Christ is a reality. That's just what is happening. So I'm not going to run up to somebody and say, you can't celebrate Christmas. It's pagan and it's Saturnalia. I'll say, hey, I've got a fireplace with beautiful music on my channel. You might enjoy that. That's what I told Pauline. She knew about AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, computers. How about that? I said, really? I'm surprised you knew. How special. Yeah, okay. So all those videos all those photos that I can't show anymore, I'm gonna flip open my computer and illustrate that a little bit. How about that? The Matrix? There's more analogies and allegory than many realize with that. Here's my biometric identifier right there. Let's make that work. Hope you enjoy that little gallows humor. Okay. So these are people from all over. Right now there are, 849 people watching this. Now, when I first posted my video, or I made the comment on here, I put sharing through millions of my liked videos playlists. So I don't know if that had something to do with the increase in the views, but I also have the, I'm going to hide the chat here so I can move that up higher. Dean's very curious about what's going on here. So I've got the original Terminator without ads, beautiful, relaxing video from all over the world. The Real X-Files, Christmas music. You can see those. This one here, The Firmament, did a very excellent job on that. Why you can't stop clicking. Okay, so Chatham, True Stream Media did a very good video, I thought, on the situation with social media. And one of the challenges, they talked about creating a system that would cause people to want to just watch and click, and they couldn't stop doing it. I admittedly spend a lot of time doing what I do. And there's a good reason for it. Time is short, and I'm not storing up for myself riches that are worldly. I'm handing out an invitation for eternity to know the truth about the situation that we're in. I'm gonna expand this to go to my liked videos, and I want to show you a little bit differently. So these are the 3,849 videos. I update it every day. I don't know if you'll receive activity if I just update my list, but you might. Now, here is A Picture is Worth 1,000 Words by the Potter's Clay. He's got some of my photos on there, and also Crystal and Skies is Nigel Stanford did the beautiful music video showing the tapestry of light and time-lapse photography of the northern lights, of stars. It was gorgeous. Well, that was on my channel before the Potter's Clay made that video. I look around and I see the influence of what I've been doing around. Now, was it a direct correlation to me showing the beauty of creation there? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I'm gonna back this up and show you a little something different. Let's bring this up. Okay, I want to show you something that's, I believe, a bit of science fiction. And they've got music that's like trance music. This is supposedly what they say the sun looks like. This is NASA Goddard showing us this, what I believe is science fiction. I don't know why it's not showing. That's interesting. So I'm going to refresh that and see what happens. There it is. Does that look real to you? How about I back it up a little bit? So when they're zoomed in on the sun like that, that's one thing, but take a look at this. And you can go to my channel and see more of the sun. It's a whole lot closer than they're telling us. Job 37 says that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. That looks like a freaking, like a disco ball kind of fantasy kind of thing, or not a disco ball, but it looks like fantasy. Okay, now this one is called Orbit. Let's bring that up. And I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning with this. And I've acknowledged that I've shared this millions of times through my liked videos playlist. Now it's been viewed over 3,500,000 times. I'm going to move it ahead a little quicker here. That's what it's called. It's called Orbit. You know, it's been liked over 59,000 times. And supposedly this is official imagery. But those of us who are in the know that's not the case. The scale, the curve, the visuals are just, they don't match up. It's fabricated. And I'm telling you about it. I wanted to get where they show the arms of the satellite, I believe it is. Let's see, where is that? Dean's making it tough for me to work the computer here. He's moving my mouse pad. I think it might, oh, there it is, right over here. Okay, so we've got computer-generated fakery that goes on. Green screen kind of activity. Does that look real to you? There's my reflection of my window. See, to me, I can see that that's totally fake. And why would they have to put the solar collectors in the shot? Why would they do that? Well, it's fabricated. This is not real. So what I'm going to do is collapse this and show you some real. Okay. This is, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Does that look real? Oh, and there's one called Sunset. I'm going to get to a different one here. So real quick, I'm gonna get back to that in just a moment. There's the Slingshot channel. This guy is hilarious.
Views, likes, and your sub, please. Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. I always loved that gun. It was given to me by a gunsmith about 15 years ago.
So he does the Terminator.
Came out, so it's a movie prop really, but it's still a functional.
And so on the comments for that, let's see if it shows up. This is what I put. I wanted to let him know who I was. Now he's from Germany. My surname is German, Forsch. I don't know if we'll talk. I'd be happy to talk with him. He's an inventor, creator, does fascinating content. And with almost 3 million subscribers, he's got a lot of people that follow him. So that's on my playlist there. Let's, I'm going to learn more about how to create a live stream in the studio. I'm going to move this around. This is Sheldrake, very interesting guy. You might find his talk, Rupert Sheldrake. He did a fabulous job of exposing some of the scientism. So these photos here are just like limited photos, but they're not connected with my whole playlist. That was when I raced motocross in 1979. I knew how to do it really well. When I say I was pro level, my skill set was at that level. This is right out at the open ocean, right there. Obviously, the sunrise, that looks like probably in the middle of summer. And this is the tidal area coming out from the coastal preserve, and that's the open ocean there in the southeast. Okay, and look at the beautiful mirror that is. Now, what I had done is linked my liked videos playlist and more on the comments. And originally, what had happened was I was able to put my entire photo album of over almost 3,000 photos in a comment. And then August 1st of 2018, they stopped it. I had people calling me and saying, we can't see your comment there. It says it's unavailable. And at the time when I did a broadcast about it, I said, they're probably doing that because I've been putting my photo album in a comment, and it's got thousands of links of my liked videos playlist that has thousands of videos. How about that? He's all about it. Dean wants to be involved in it. So yeah, he's going to make this kind of tough. He's camping out on my trackpad there. Man, there's all kinds of challenges with this, and he's a cord chewer, so I've got to watch out. He'll want to chew that cord if I'm not careful. So I'm going to go back to my channel here. The channel name used to be Eternal Perspective, and now it's just Truth. Flat Earth debate, anyone? That's right. Okay, so this is the coastal preserve right there. And I can zoom around a little bit. The tide is coming in. Watch the dirt disappear. It's video proof of what I'm talking about. The water seeking level, see how that all filled up? You can take a look around on my channel. It's pretty interesting. I get to do that digitally too. I've got a liked video playlist. You can look at it. A lot of powerful documentaries that I've created and others have created as well. I've got some playlists. One of them, my favorite playlist that's going on right now in the house where I live, is my God's Word Bible.com playlist. I changed that to YouTube Truth to... It'll run for hundreds of hours, more than a week. Yeah, and I've got videos that are up to like 12 hours long there with that. So when I used to be able to go to my memories... Oh, wow, here we are right there. Watch this. This is going to get really weird. Run for hundreds of hours, more than a week. Yeah, and I've got videos that are up to like 12 hours long there with that. So when I used to be able to go to my memories, oh, wow, here we are right there. Watch this. This is going to get really weird. Run for hundreds of hours, more than a week. Yeah, and I've got videos that are up to like 12 hours long there with that. So when I used to be able to go to my memories, oh wow, here we are right there. Watch this. This is going to get really weird. So that's the delay that's going on right there. Yeah, and I've got videos. It'll just keep on going. It'll keep on getting smaller and smaller. Memories. Oh wow, here we are right there. Watch this. This is going to get really weird. So that's the delay that's going on right there. Okay, so when there's this kind of activity, there's this me, and then there's the digital me that's out there, people loving and hating, maybe people not even knowing. Not paying attention. What I'm going to flip this around and show you now that we can see the sun coming through there, the stationary and level water, and I'll just tip that. That's part of the reality. In a world where we're trying to figure out what's real and what's not real, there are some basics that help us know the reality. And one of those would be the water. It flies off of a spinning tennis ball. It's not going to stick to a globe. But a ferret. So when people come to my channel, they're going to hear this.
Named Gamaliel, a teacher of the law, who was honored by all the people, stood up in the Sanhedrin and ordered that the men be put outside for a little while. Was later to betray him. Chapter 7. After this, Jesus went around in Galilee, purposely staying away from Judea because the Jews there were waiting to take his life. But when the Jewish feast of Tabernacles
so that was about a year ago.
Said to him,
"You want to leave here and go to Judea, so that your disciples may do
and
the miracles you do."
I'll just show you some of the dynamics with the sun. I'll do it in. I'm going to mute it. You good with that, Dean? Okay. So I'll show you the mirror that is. And that's just the way it actually works. It's no trickery. You know, I've got thousands of hours invested in this. I would have people come up and talk to me throughout the time when I was doing this. And they couldn't hear the video. It's a direct link to the system of recording. This was a YouTube video.
So the sisters sent word to Jesus.
Lord, the one you love is sick.
When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No,
It is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it.
Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Yet when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. Then he said to his disciples,
Let us go back to Judea.
Yeah, he's gonna wake him up. He's gonna give him a new body, a new life. So I wanted to show you that. And so that'll play for the hundreds of hours that I was talking about. I wanted to show you some of the high quality reality that's also available to see. Eight hours in the Grand Tetons, the Milky Way soundscapes. Somebody wanted to see a video with tidal activity. I said you won't find any there, but you will on my channel. You may be watching this right now. I don't know. This one right here, I got a like from that, I'll show you. Let's see, where is it? That's TrueStream Media. They've got almost 500,000 subscribers. I believe they like the comment.
Destimulating.
Okay, here's the Verve. They liked the comment. Let's bring it up. Maybe you recognize the video. It's got 519 million views. So he's talking about how he, I'm going to get a copyright strike. I got to cut that off. I might get a copyright strike. I don't know. But he was talking about how he couldn't change. And it's a very interesting song. Very, very interesting indeed. And God changed me. That was part of what happened with all of this, is I was given new life in Christ. So I know that I was so frustrated with the life that I was living, I could not stop doing things that I believed I should stop doing, and I didn't have the power to do what I believed I should be doing. It was a mess. I was a mess. And God intervened, gave me a new life, gave me His Holy Spirit, passion, purpose, an eternal perspective, and the power to do what I previously couldn't do. So that was evidence to me that something significant had changed. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. I have this this Bible in my video earlier. It wasn't presented to anybody. It was brand new, never used. None of the records are there. It was in the plastic. You know, there will be people that will be gathering around for family get-togethers. I don't believe I'll be invited anywhere for Christmas because I just don't fit in. If people want to come and visit me here, that's fine. I'm not I'm not sad. Now look at that's one of the reasons why I like so many mirrors. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And it puts off a nice light for that. I can come on over here and talk to somebody. That looks kind of wild, doesn't it? But yeah, So now I'm gonna flip this around and show you over there. There it is. See, each one of these mirrors is an individual view. If I had it all flat, it would be one view and it would be a representation of this. When they're focused, like that one is straight on and this one is tipped a little bit. The one that the TV is blocking, well, let me just, as a point of exercise, I've got to move the TV, but so we each have our own individual perspective. Now that's the mirror I just uncovered. And see the difference? It's a different angle. We all have our own individual perspective on what we see and how things look to us. And so that's why I'm not afraid to say, hey, you know what? If you want to have a video channel where you make your liked videos playlist publicly available, you can have whatever name you want. Click like on a video and it'll go there. My channel may be taken down if it's viewed as not commercially viable. I just got a warning shot across the bow. My liked videos playlists that were all attached to my photographs. Like I said, I've got the photos. Oh yeah, big deal. They're not out there in people's mailbox. A lot of times I would send my whole photo album to somebody that is wanting to be friends and we can't because I'm at my limit. I would send them my photo album, say call anytime. I get calls from all over the world at any given time of the day or night. I don't mind. It's not necessarily like a suicide hotline, although I've worked those. I've done that. I worked at a full-time ministry, Rawhide Boys Ranch in New London, Wisconsin. Selected to lead character development class at Christ the Rock Community Church in Menasha. Helped build an $11 million sanctuary. I installed a lot of the insulation there, and I ran a team of people to do that. We homeschooled our sons for a good part of their education. Now they're adults and doing quite well. And then we were foster parents for 9 young men through Rawhide Boys Ranch. I did street ministry from coast to coast. I still do it now. I'll take the Truth Cycle out there, the Truth Mobile. People will come up to me. It's a conversation starter. I mean, wearing the... so I'll flip it around again, show you how it works. This is a reverse view, but it makes it right for that. Should be, I think. Anyway. When we first moved here a decade ago, it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and Joni said, in the summertime, she said, hey, would you run to Walmart and pick up a couple of things? I said, is it an emergency? She said, no. I said, well, I'll do it later. There might be hundreds of people trying to get through the registers right now. It's kind of interesting. That's the way it is around here, is that we live in an area where there's 20 million guests a year approximately now that visit here. So even if I go just right down the road, I'll see people from all over the world, like that go to the Goodwill that's 2 minutes away. It's very interesting. It's a social, I can just get in the car, go down there, ride the motorcycle. I could walk if I wanted to. My point is, now I'll take the shirt out for a walk. I'll take myself out there and people will come up and talk to me, or not. They don't even need to. They may just go right on over to my channel. It's just kind of the way it is. And what will they find there? They'll find a lot. There's the truth and a whole lot more. There's the truth isn't based on popular opinion. It's not popular and it's not an opinion. It just is. The challenge that we all have is determining what the truth is. And I believe God's grace is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. I want to show you another Bible. By the way, this Bible cost $1.75. It's probably over $100 Bible. It was, oh no, this one was $9.99. I'm sorry. This one, it's like almost like brand new. It's King James Version by Nelson. Well, so now the sun is coming out. Let's so I can show you where it is. Gentle little breeze. Yeah, and like I said, it'll run on over there and set right back there tonight. This time of the year. Right over there. That's just the reality of it. So right now, that is, it's running reverse. It's a heat pump. It's actually adding a little warmth to the house. It's just the way it works. So that's about due north right there. Just so you know. Obviously, then due south is right over there. So I'm at 100% charge right now. I'll be out in public. When I couldn't change, when the Verve did the song Bittersweet Symphony, it's a classic. I love it. There were copyright issues. I've got a video that did a breakdown on it. It's so elaborate to explain. I'm not even going to try and do it. Suffice it to say, it's been heard millions and millions, hundreds of millions of times. So when I put that comment, shared millions of times through my liked videos playlist, people will maybe come on over and say, hey, what's going on? What's going on with that guy? Hey, my brother did Arnold Schwarzenegger, the original makeup for the Terminator. Yeah, he's on, my brother's on my page. I shared him. He's got an IDMB recognition and all that. He's a talented artist. About 12 years ago, he said, do you know anything about the Nephilim? I said, no, what? I've heard of them. What are they? He said they're all like giants or spirit things. Oh yeah, they're the fallen ones. Genesis 6. I don't know where my brother is at spiritually. It hasn't been looking good over the years. He did a lot of horror movies, and he's been in movies, and he's done a lot of things with a lot of celebrities. And I'll kind of leave it at that. It's kind of interesting. He did a lot of plaster casts. Some of those plaster casts were of torsos of trannies. How about that? Or at least transgender. You can change the plumbing and padding, but still the original genetics. So I've got Jordan Peterson. He was all put out that Canada was trying to tell him how he had to address somebody as it's against the law to misgender them. We've got a transpocalypse that's going on. An agenda that's being promoted by Satan. How about that? Do what thou wilt. That's an Aleister Crowley thing. I get to do what I want because Jesus puts the want to do what he created me to do as I delight myself in obediently walking with him. You may know him as Yahweh, Yeshua, the way, the truth, and the life. His name is the Word of God. It's my friend Mick. You know, on a nice day when I'm out here, there will be hundreds of cars that go by here. A lot of waves, a lot of smiles, sometimes conversations. It's pretty cool. Largely, people will believe what they want to believe. That's kind of how that works. Mick will probably stop by my channel later. What I will do is download this to my computer and upload it to YouTube. The reason why I wanted to go live on Facebook was to clue you in on my photo album is gone. It was called EternalPerspectiveBible.com. It's chilly out here. So I wanted to show you that. That's a EcoQuest air purifier. It oxidizes particulate and it'll kill mildew. It'll kill bacteria. Powerful stuff. So a mirror like this right here that you're looking at like that is like putting a set of eyes on the wall right there. So now I'll put it like this, but that's going to look a little weird because the camera is on the wrong side. It'll get really interesting like that. It's called reflection photography. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? That's maybe a good end of screen shot. I'd like to put the fire in it. Okay, so what do? We go to this side over here. So yeah, I've been seeing things a little different for a long time. Let's do that. So there's this me and the digital me. Thank you for your public and private encouragement. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth.